The only thing standing between you and the life you want is your decision to step up. Not luck, not timing, not even talent, just you. That's the part nobody wants to admit, right? We love blaming circumstances, our boss, the market, the universe, Mercury retrograde. But the truth? The Stoics figured it out thousands of years ago. Epictetus said we can't control what happens to us, but we can control how we respond. And that changes everything. This isn't just ancient wisdom. Modern psychology agrees. Your mindset literally shapes your reality. Your brain rewires itself based on how you think and act. So what if you started acting like you were already the best version of you? Not cocky, not fake, just focused, calm, intentional. Today we're diving into the mindset that helps you stop waiting and start becoming. It's not about pretending, it's about practicing. And once you get this right, trust me, your life won't be the same. But before we dive deeper into the fascinating journey, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. You know that moment when you realize no one is coming to save you. That's the moment your life changes. Not when you win the lottery, not when you get your dream job, but when you finally say, okay, I'm done waiting, I'm doing this. That's the moment the old you dies, and the real growth begins. The Stoics were big on this. They didn't sit around blaming the stars or waiting for the gods to fix their problems. They took full responsibility. Epictetus said, "You may not control the events, but you can control how you meet them." That mindset? It's the cheat code to modern life because, let's face it, today we've got more distractions than ever. Notifications, bad news, algorithm doom scrolling. It's easy to think you need to wait for the perfect mood, perfect timing, perfect motivation. But science says action creates motivation, not the other way around. The brain rewards movement, even tiny steps. So when you act like the best version of yourself, your brain goes, oh, this is who we are now? That's how it starts, not with fireworks, but with a decision. You start showing up differently, you speak with more intention. You carry yourself like someone who's got shit to do. And guess what? You do. Let's clear something up real quick. Acting like the best doesn't mean acting like you're better than everyone else. It's not about walking into a room like you own the place, flexing your ego or faking confidence you don't feel. That's not strength. That's insecurity wearing a loud shirt. What we're talking about is something way deeper. It's about setting a higher standard for yourself. It's about discipline, about showing up with focus, even when no one's watching. That's what the Stoics meant when they talked about virtue. Not flashy perfection, but quiet, unshakable integrity. Take Marcus Aurelius. The guy was literally emperor of Rome. He could have had people feeding him grapes while he insulted peasants for fun. Instead, he wrote in his journal every day about staying humble, being kind, and not letting power get to his head. That's real strength. That's acting like the best without acting superior. In today's world, that mindset's even more powerful. Anyone can fake it on social media. But living it, that's rare. And that's what makes you stand out. Acting like the best isn't about pretending. It's about becoming. Not for the likes, not for the praise, but because you know deep down you're capable of more. But I'm not the best. Yeah, we've all said it, that voice in your head that whispers, who do you think you are? Classic imposter syndrome. It shows up right when you're about to level up and it sounds so convincing. Like you're wearing a costume and everyone's about to figure it out. But here's the truth. You don't need to be the best to train like the best. Think about it. Do athletes wait until they're champions to start practicing like champions? No. They show up every day, do the work, and become great through repetition. That's how your brain works too. Science calls it the self-fulfilling prophecy. You believe you're capable, you act that way, your brain rewires, and boom, now you actually are more capable. The Stoics knew this before neuroscience gave it a fancy name. Epictetus said, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. It's not fake, it's training. Confidence is built like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. So when you feel like a fraud, don't back down. Lean in. Show up. Not because you're perfect, but because you're practicing your future self in real time. That's not delusion. That's strategy. Want to know the secret to becoming excellent at anything? It's not talent, it's not luck, it's your habits. Seneca said, we become what we repeatedly do. Not what we talk about doing. Not what we plan to do next Monday. What we actually do, over and over. Excellence isn't some magical switch you flip. It's a pattern, a rhythm, a daily choice. You build it like a muscle, one rep at a time. Want to be mentally strong? Train your thoughts. Want to improve your health? Show up for your body? Want better relationships? Practice being present even when you're tired and just want to scroll. Memes modern science backs this up too. Your brain literally rewires itself based on your repeated behaviors. The more you act in line with the person you want to become, the more natural it feels. You stop forcing it, and it starts becoming who you are. The Stoics were obsessed with this idea. They journaled, reflected, practiced discipline, not because they were already perfect, but because they knew that identity is built, not given. So, next time you want to change your life, don't make a massive plan, just do one small thing every day like it matters. Because it does. Your weaknesses aren't the problem. Thinking you're supposed to have none, that's the problem. Most of us waste so much energy hiding our flaws, pretending we've got it all together, when in reality, your weaknesses are fuel if you use them right. The Stoics never aimed for perfection. They aimed for honesty. Marcus Aurelius didn't write about being flawless. He wrote about struggling, messing up, and trying again. Why? Because he knew progress doesn't come from pretending you're strong. It comes from admitting where you're weak and building strength there. Modern psychology calls this growth mindset. Stoics called it life. Epictetus said, difficulties are things that show a person what they are. In other words, the hard stuff, that's your training ground. That's where you get sharper, wiser, stronger. And yeah, it sucks to fail. It's uncomfortable. But failure isn't a dead end, it's data. It tells you what didn't work. That's feedback, not defeat. The obstacle becomes the way, remember? So stop running from your flaws. Face them like a Stoic, with curiosity, not shame. That's how real growth begins. When you raise your standards, people around you notice, even if you never say a word. That's the wild part. Acting like the best doesn't just change you, it lifts everyone around you. Your discipline, your focus, your way of showing up, it's contagious. The Stoics had a word for this, sympathia. It means we're all connected, like parts of one big body. When one part improves, the whole gets better. So when you commit to being your best, not perfect, but intentional, you give others permission to do the same. That's leadership, not barking orders, just living better. Think about it. Ever been around someone who just has it together? Not in a flashy way, just steady, grounded, purposeful. It rubs off on you, right? Suddenly you're rethinking your choices, showing up sharper. That's how real influence works. You don't need to preach, just practice. Whether it's your kids, your partner, your co-workers, your habits speak louder than advice. So if you want to change your environment, start with your own behavior. Be the proof that it's possible. That mindset, that's what creates ripple effects. Stoic energy, strong, quiet, real. Failure isn't a stop sign, it's a speed bump. Annoying? Sure, but it's not the end of the road unless you park there. The Stoics understood this better than anyone. They didn't fear failure, they expected it, welcomed it even. Because to them, setbacks weren't punishment, they were practice. Epictetus said, difficulties are what show men who they are. In other words, you find out what you're made of after you fall, not before. Marcus Aurelius agreed. His journal is basically a highlight reel of struggles and how he got back up every single time. They didn't see failure as embarrassing. They saw it as part of the training. Modern science backs that up too. Failure triggers brain activity that helps us adapt and grow. As long as we learn from it, that's the key. Not avoiding mistakes, but bouncing back smarter. So when you mess up, and you will, don't waste time beating yourself up. Ask, what's this here to teach me? Because falling doesn't mean you're weak. Staying down does. Real growth is built on scraped knees and stubborn comebacks. Fall, learn, rise better. That's the Stoic way. That's the path forward. Don't wait to feel ready, just start. Seriously, half of greatness is just showing up even when you'd rather hit snooze and scroll memes in bed. The Stoics knew that waiting for motivation was a trap. Marcus Aurelius, the emperor of Rome, woke up every morning and reminded himself, you were born to do this, So get up and do it. That's not hype, it's discipline, it's routine, it's a mindset that says, I'm not here to coast through life, I'm here to build something. And that building happens day by day, choice by choice. You don't need a perfect morning routine with 37 steps and a $12 green smoothie. You just need one question to start your day. How would the best version of me show up today? Would they skip the workout? Would they ghost that hard conversation? Would they give in to every distraction? Or would they stand up, take a breath, and move with purpose? Modern science calls this priming your identity. When you act like the person you want to become, your brain starts to believe it, and eventually so do you. So don't wait for clarity, energy, or perfection. Just practice, because every day you act like your best self, you become them. Acting like you're the best isn't about arrogance, it's about alignment. It's not pretending you're flawless, it's choosing to live like the best version of you is already here, and showing up that way every single day. That's not ego, that's intention, that's power. This isn't a one-time decision, it's a practice, a daily mindset. It's brushing off setbacks, adjusting your crown, even if it's invisible, and getting back to work. And the more you do it, the more natural it feels, until one day you look around and realize you didn't fake your way here. You built this. So, here's your challenge. Tomorrow morning, ask yourself, how would the best version of me approach today, then act on it, even just a little. That's how you create change. Not by waiting, but by stepping into it. If you found something helpful in this video, don't let it end here. Keep the momentum going. Check out our next video on personal mastery and how Stoic habits can reshape your life from the inside out. And remember what Epictetus said, you have power over your mind. Realize this, and you'll find strength. See you in the next one. Stay sharp, stay grounded,